Hello, this is Amber Parrott from the Morgan James Author Support Team, and today I have the privilege of speaking with Dr. Joy Kwakuyi, the author of The Ultimate Cure for Depression, Leveraging Science and Faith for Total Healing. Thank you so much for joining me today, Dr. Joy.
Thank you, Amber. Nice to be here.
Yeah, so glad you were able to be here. So I want to go ahead and dive in and ask you some questions about your book. First and foremost, who is this book for?
So The Ultimate Cure for Depression, Leveraging Science and Faith for Total Healing was written for anyone that has been struggling with a mood disorder. I mean, talking about depression, anxiety, and bipolar disorder. I am a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and also I am a pastor of a local church in Tucson, Arizona. And from my experience and training, I understand that the best treatment for mood disorders is to leverage everything from biomedical science to faith interventions and self-care, everything in between. But it looks like most of the time we leave treatments on the table. And we don't utilize every resource that is available to us. So this is to help anyone dealing with a mood disorder to understand the best way to get total recovery and lasting recovery from a mood condition.
Yeah. And I love that, with your background, you can pull both from the faith sphere and the practical psychology sphere, because I feel like sometimes you don't get a whole lot of that interaction in each field. So that's excellent. So what do you want people to get out of this book?
The book is meant to be both educational and also an applicable tool, a practical guide. So I expect that anyone can pick up that book and read it and then apply it to their lives, their daily living. And it can also be a guide to getting help. For instance, I talked about how to find help when you need it, and how to look for the right help, how to identify the right help. And so it is both for educational purposes and also for self-help purposes.
Yeah, I love that, giving the knowledge and also the practical steps and tools to get the help you need. That's so crucial. So how can the book be used?
Yeah, I believe we touched on that in the last question, but it can just be read for educational purposes, because honestly, even if someone is not depressed, they would find a lot of value in reading this book. One of the things that my editor, Corey Hart, mentioned was that you don't have to be depressed to read this book. He said he got a lot out of reading it, which was encouraging to me, because I actually poured out my heart about things that each one of us can do to have a balanced life, right? You don't have to wait until you are depressed in order to learn about depression. The best form of treatment is prevention. And so I would expect that anyone who is curious about living a balanced emotional life would find value in reading this book.
That is so valuable. And I love that your editor pointed that out, that, anybody, even if you haven't fallen into depression, you can use this book to kind of build a healthy emotional space. So that's really cool. So before we close today, Dr. Joy, I want to ask for the viewers at home, where can they find you?
Good question, right? I am in private practice in Tucson, Arizona, and the name of my practice is Faith Integrated Psychiatry, which tells the whole story. And so I can be found on the website. My website is faithandpsychiatry.com, faithandpsychiatry.com. I can be found on Facebook at Joy Kwakuyi, under Joy Kwakuyi, Kwakuyi. And I can also be found on LinkedIn. These days, it's not so hard to find us, right? I just want to show a picture of the book in my hand. I forgot to show it earlier. I like the cover design. It's two hands reaching up, and there is always help. There is always help. I think one of the mistakes that we can make is to not find help when we need help.
Right, right. That is so powerful. Well, thank you so much again for joining me, Dr. Joy. And, congratulations on the release of your book.
Thank you, and thank you so much to the Morgan James team for all the assistance. I'm so blessed to find you.
Yeah, it is truly our pleasure. And viewers at home, be sure to check out The Ultimate Cure for Depression wherever books are sold.